Wait a minute. You're right. It's either...
Look! Did y'all hear that?
I think it was a mouse.
No, here it goes.
It's a chipmunk! That's so cool!
It is a sweet... Can you go back to the I'm right part?
You're right. Welcome to BustmobTV. In the spirit of living our life with intention, me and Gretta Nance found some time in our day to pause, grab some coffee, and chat about what's going on inside Bustmob. We'll answer some questions, spend some time with a special guest, and share ways to be more intentional in your daily life. Hop on in.
Morning.
Hi.
Caffeine,
That's
iced
right.
coffee on a warm day.
It's a hot day.
Love taking a minute
Woo.
and doing this with you, though.
Summertime is no joke.
Yep.
But did you see in Bustmob that thread going about eyelashes?
Obviously, I did.
Oh my gosh.
I tend to gravitate towards the beauty tips and conversations, skincare kinds of things in there, because it's all an extension. This, all the things. So I know you personally have some eyelash baggage this week.
Well, you know,
Not baggage.
kind of. I mean, I went last week and got fake eyelashes for the first time. The ones where they glue the, like, what are they called?
Eyelash
Like a
extensions,
okay.
everyone.
Eyelash
extensions.
extensions.
We're still helping Jenny.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. But I got them put on and like my eyes burned so bad. I was allergic to the adhesive.
I've heard of that. It's rare, but it definitely happens.
Fantastic. So I went back the next day and got them taken off. But then I saw that thread going on in Bustmob about like magnetic eyeliner, and you can put your eyelashes on the magnetic eyeliner, and I was like, that sounds so cool.
Yeah, the eyelash game continues to improve.
Mhm.
I will talk beauty all day, any day with somebody, especially like I have tried out all the things over the last like probably 25 years. I was definitely that kid like testing out and stealing mom's stuff. So
Aw.
I have gone through all the eyelash things. I do have the eyelash extensions, but they work fine for me. Like they're not for everybody.
The glued ones. The ones that
Eyelash
right now.
extensions. Yes. See, we're teaching her. There are fake eyelashes, and those are the strips that you glue on every day.
Oh.
There are the magnetic ones that you would
Have you
again
done
take
those?
on or off. Magnetic?
Mhm.
No, not yet. But like
I
this
wanna try
works
that.
for me, so I'd prefer to do this.
True.
But there were like specific recommendations
Yes.
that people were loving, which I think is so helpful because I love a good tip.
I had to write it down because I would not remember these. Lashify was one. Glamnetics.
Yep. Those were the magnetic strip
Yeah.
lashes that people were recommending.
And rainlashes.com was also the magnetic ones that a lot of people were like saying, oh, I've used those. Those are great. And I looked at their website. It looks like it was built in the 80s. But it's still like a lot of, you can tell like a lot of people buy it because so much was sold out. And so I was like, this might be something to look into.
Are you going to try them?
Ugh.
Come on, buy them, buy them, buy them, buy them.
It depends on how much it is. We'll see.
Don't you guys think? Thumbs up if Jenny should buy them. No,
I'll
she
keep
should.
you posted
She
if I
should.
do.
I love testing out all these things on you.
Well, then you do it.
Oh, no, I can't because I already
You
have
have double
Yeah,
lashes.
no, I don't need that, like a shark. But I love these topics, and I'm hoping we can talk more about the beauty stuff when we hopefully get our skincare, beauty, things not breast and body surgery subgroup going on in Bustmob. So let's talk about all the things. Yes. I'm excited. All right, got to get my phone so I can ask you some questions as well. Okay,
Ready.
some for me, some for you, but I always love to hear your perspective. Started with the surgery question.
Okay, I got
That
this
I swear you could spend 8 hours answering.
one. Almost dropped
And
this.
you have. Don't drop your coffee.
Sorry.
That's okay. My car is a dump, so I'm totally fine with it. But like I hear some version of this in Bustmob at least 3 times a day. So let me see if I hit the question right.
I have no idea if I need a lift or not. I think I could go either way, but how would I determine if I'm a candidate for a breast lift?
Woo! $1 million question.
Yes,
Wish
great
we
question.
could create some equation or some app that you just took a picture of your boobs and it said, bing, boom.
Is that
you
the
know?
sound it would
Yeah,
make? I
like-
like that.
But so many people, the answer is like,
Yeah,
well, maybe, and nobody wants to hear that.
Yeah.
So what do we need to know?
Basically, if your nipples are pointing down, you're gonna want to lift. Or if your nipples fall below like your crease line, your breast crease line, and unless you want to get like a really big implant, you're gonna want to lift that tissue up so that your nipple line is a little bit higher once you add the implant. Or not. Some people choose to get an implant with a lift. Some people just want a breast lift. It seems like in Bustmob, though, the majority get a lift with implants, which you can do at the same time most places.
Yeah.
But a really great place to like learn more about breast lifts, if that's like the direction you think you might be going in. You can download Amelia Academy, which is our free app, and you can watch all kinds of videos on lifts, what to expect, different types of lifts, what the recovery's like, all of that stuff.
Yeah, we've done podcasts for so many years now that I can barely remember, but I think we did like a podcast about that too, right? Where it was like, I know the emotions of scars on your breasts is tough to get around, but if you need a lift, like I know because you've had one, you specifically can speak to, it's worth it. You can't just keep stretching out that skin most times and get the look you're looking for. If you want something nice and high and perky, you need to get rid of some of that extra skin. Okay, are you ready? Skincare question.
No, I'm not. Let's hear it.
I actually don't know if you know what this question is about to be, and I would love to hear your initial thoughts.
Okay.
Because I love this one.
I'm ready to start putting some time and money towards my skin, but I'm only giving myself $100 a month. Should it be on products or treatments?
I get a version of this question a lot. And
I have to guess.
Yeah, not even just the dollar amount. Like, take the dollar amount aside, but like, hey, I've got some money. I'm ready to spend time. Like, we love treatments. We talk about hydrofacials and chemical peels and microneedling and all these things. And we talk about products. Like, if you're going to put it one place, where would you put it?
I would guess skincare, because that would be a daily thing as opposed to a treatment, which would be like once every so often. But that's just my guess. What is the answer?
I mean, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. For me, the right answer would be the same, though.
Oh, good.
Like, I think about the dentist.
Okay. I don't like that. But
I know. You brush your teeth every single day, and you go to the dentist. I try to every 6 months for the deep clean. If I could only do one, which one would I like? I would brush my teeth every day.
That makes sense.
Versus just one big scraping of the grossness. Okay, this is probably a terrible example, but I think of skincare like foundation. I'm sorry, like the foundation of a house.
Okay, I was like foundation, like makeup?
Like the treatments are a nice boost. They definitely like speed along a process, especially if you're trying to fight pigmentation or a specific wrinkle. Like, yes, that will help get you to your outcome faster, but you almost can't do it without the right foundation.
True.
Like, so I would invest in skincare first and then use a treatment as a boost if you've got a little extra, or there's like one spot you might want to get a laser treatment on if the skincare isn't doing it. But skincare is one of the best investments you can make. So I'd get started with that. And that's a great question. We have pre-bundled some of our favorite treatments with our help of our friends that are estheticians to kind of work through, okay, if I'm dry, if I'm oily, if I'm looking at aging skin, if I'm looking at acne, on realsimpleskin.com. So if you want to make it simple and just pick a whole regime, you can go on there and check that out. And as always, use a code. Did you see that animal run across the street?
I did not.
Look! See, it's a chipmunk.
I think it's a bird.
It has 4 legs and it's running.
It was a bird. It was hopping.
No. It was running. It was a chipmunk. We're really good at this. This is what old age does when you need to have glasses to see what kind of animals are in front of you. And we're back. As always, you can use code BustMob for 10% off just for you. Okay, question number 3. I think you are going to be able to answer very well because you may or may not have had this procedure.
Like I may.
You know, it's one of my favorites, and I think if more women understood about it, that they would enjoy it. So let me ask you this 3rd question. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I've heard you can get submental liposuction awake. Is that true?
Good question.
That is a great question, and I have had that procedure. Submental.
Yep.
That's under the chin, and you can stay awake, or you can add it on like I did, because I had an implant exchange and did some other stuff, some liposuction here and there. And so I was like, well, while we're at it, let's add on the chin. And I, like you call it, the cheap and cheerful.
Chirp and cheerful. The cheap and cheerful.
Yes.
No, it's like one of my favorite surgeries because it makes
Me
a
too
dramatic
now.
difference with like very little pain and pretty inexpensive compared to other things. Great add-on procedure. Jenny did it asleep, but you can do it awake, and we got to talk to somebody who did that this week.
Miss Amanda.
She was a trip, first of all. She's been in Bustmob a while.
Since 2014.
Yeah, OG, another OG. She's done a number of procedures, but when she saw that, she was like, oh, I could do that as well. And she had a very funny recovery with hers.
I like her
to
story.
me. I love her style. I love her vibe. I love all the things.
Let's listen to her story.
Welcome, Amanda. We're so glad you're here. Thank you for agreeing to do this interview with us. We're so excited.
We get excited.
Yes. So tell us what procedure that you had.
Yeah, so most recently I had the chin liposuction. So I believe I had that done on, I want to say June 17th. So they just did it in office, local anesthetic. I would say the entire procedure, start to finish, was probably about an hour. Results were, I mean, I would say like even the next day, it was obviously a noticeable difference, even with the swelling. I got really lucky with it too. I didn't have any bruising or anything. So I had very minimal swelling in my neck. And then he actually only did one incision just basically right here. So that's the only one that I have. It's just a really, really tiny one. So even now, I think all of the stitches are gone. So it's just like a tiny little bump, but I mean, no one can really see it.
So cool.
Yeah.
Yours was very similar.
Very similar, like just one little spot right here. And it didn't hurt. I had maybe one little yellow bruise and I woke up with like a Band-Aid, like a little circle Band-Aid. And that was it. And it was so simple, but mine was not awake.
Yeah.
I was asleep because I added it onto a procedure. So how did you feel going into it, knowing that you were going to be awake for this procedure?
Yeah, for sure. I was definitely a little bit nervous. I think obviously anytime that you're having, you know, knives or needles or anything like that anywhere near your face, it's obviously kind of a nerve-wracking experience. And I'm pretty good with, you know, surgeries and stuff like that. So it was weird for me to kind of go into that and have that nervous side to it. But yeah, I mean, the surgeon did a really good job of just kind of talking me down from that, explaining like what they were going to do, and talking to me throughout the time that he was actually putting the, I think it's lidocaine, I don't know, into my chin, and then also throughout the process of him actually doing it. So I think that definitely helped, because I think if I was just laying there and in total silence, it would obviously be a lot worse.
I'm sure you little ladies probably both heard this. You're both young, you're both petite. Like, I remember a lot of people being like, why did you do this?
Oh, yeah,
or, you know, and same, like, you didn't have this dramatic bullfrog neck. You know, sometimes we see these people who have this genetic thing. Like, what did you have people be like, why are you doing this? And was it something that really bothered you before? Like, what led you down this path?
Well, I think the funniest thing with it too is obviously with, so I've had, I mean, kind of tying it into everything, I've had 2 breast augmentations, and I've had 2 within the span of less than a year. The first ones I had, I was really, really unhappy with like the profile and everything else. So I think anytime that you're doing more than one procedure in close succession, you're going to get people that want to share their opinions. And they're like, oh, we think that it's a problem. We think that you're addicted. We think that and I'm like, no, if I can fix what I'm not happy with, you know, quickly rather than, you know, give it a year, because it was already apparent to me and the surgeon that, you know, they were not what I wanted them to look like, may as well get them fixed. So that's kind of why I did it all at once. But I found in so doing that a lot of people wanted to share their opinions of like, oh, well, you know, I think you're taking this too far. Like, why are you taking more time off work? Why are you doing this? And so I definitely did get that quite a bit, or a lot of people being like, oh, you have a little bump, like, so what? And so, I mean, I kind of looked at it the same way as I looked at any of the other procedures. I wasn't doing it for anybody else. It was something that when I was 110 pounds and 5'6", that was the only time in my life that I didn't have like any sort of a bump there. And my sister's the same way. I mean, she used to model. She's 5'9" and was maybe, you know, 105 pounds and still same thing. And so for me, it was just something that I realized that no matter how much exercise or healthy eating I was doing, it wasn't going to go away. So I figured I may as well take the step and go for it.
So good. Couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Amanda.
So much.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, if you want to learn more about submental liposuction, you can download Amelia Academy that we talked about earlier. And we did a whole section on submental because it is such a great add-on or a quick and easy one just to stay awake and have done. Like, oh, chipmunk, so cute. We are so distracted today. Oh, Bustmob Breakfast Club.
Fave.
Yes.
Still my fave.
So we do that every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, if you're not familiar with that, at 8:40 Eastern. And we go live on Bustmob's Instagram, and we talk about things that we're being inspired by, or something that we can like tell you guys about that you can go do, or that we're working on, vice versa. So this week, we talked about some inspirational apps that you can download on your phone. And specifically for me, I downloaded, it's called I Am, and one called Motivation, and it sends me like an inspirational quote every hour, because I set it to every hour, between like 8 in the morning and 8 at night. And so I get like these 2 great quotes, and it just like empowers me throughout the day. And I can select like self-help, motivation, relationships, love, hope, You know, like it's,
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're getting blown up by inspiration purposely. Like, and so you told us all about that in Breakfast Club. And what I love is you guys are on there weighing in, but I learned something and we can back and forth. It made me recognize my app, I get blown up by Target and shopping and this, and it's none of it is helpful.
Dominoes.
And I'm like, wow, I'm getting intrusive thoughts from my phone. And that led me to make sure I turned off all my notifications on things that weren't getting me to where I wanted to go.
Awesome.
And I downloaded that app. I have
did?
not set it up yet, actually.
Okay.
I just recognized, I'm like, I haven't gotten any texts from it yet. I probably didn't finish the whole process.
Turn off notifications.
But yeah, like I'm excited to intentionally be fed the things that are going to get me where I'm going. On that note, what I've been kind of thinking a lot about this week, and one thing that really helped me with, is that whole idea of, I know we've talked about it before and we have on Breakfast Club, direction, not intention.
Determines destination.
I all of a sudden lost it. Determines destination. So say it again, like it takes me a while to understand it, like the direction I'm going, not just how much intention I have, like determines where I ultimately want to go. So on one of my personal retreats years ago, I used the kind of workbook, Donald Miller's Storyline book. Not an amazing book in my opinion. Probably wouldn't go out and buy it, but it was this whole concept of like future forecasting scenes that you wanted. And I refer back to that so often. Like picture 30 years from now, what do you picture? A scene of you and your children. And it's like, okay, I think like, and you have to write it down, and what, like, picture something with your spouse, picture something with your friends, picture something with,
It sounds good.
and if we're not working towards that, if the little things we're putting in place right now aren't working towards that, why are you doing them? And I constantly have to remember, Greta, you're super intentional. You've got all this energy. You're like, like, let's do all these things, read all the things. But if that's not actually pointing towards that thing, I better reevaluate. So I've been doing a lot of, is my energy being directed in the right place? And so I thought that idea of future kind of making up scenes, like I think mine was like the kids are home from college or home with their families at my house for Thanksgiving. And here's what my relationship with my stepdaughters is like. Here's what my relationship with my boys is like. So are the things I'm doing today for my stepdaughters setting me up for that? I don't know. Like, I better make sure that's the case before just being lots of energy and drinking lots of coffee and doing lots of things.
I like that. It makes me think of parenting, like with my daughter. Like, there are a lot of direction. There's a lot of intentions. Like, I hope this happens. I hope, hope. But you can hope all you want. But if I'm not taking steps to like carve out that intentional time with her and making eye contact and like playing, it's not going to get me to the relationship that I hope we have if I don't, like you said, take those steps. So I like that. It's like vision casting and taking steps to get there.
So I'm going to keep working on ways I can check in on that and just make sure, maybe every month or every quarter, I don't know what it is, that are the things I'm doing right now in my life still serving that big picture thing. So
I like that.
That's been in my mind a lot, and I'm sure it will come up in Breakfast Club more and more for me.
That's right.
We love escaping in our car of intention.
That's right.
To check in on the Bustmob babes, to talk about what's going on, to talk about what's going on in our lives.
That's right.
How we can be more intentional, and just escape for a couple minutes, reconnect.
Be intentional.
Yep.
In our day.
And re-energize.
Always. This is my third.
Oh my God, it is. It's mine too.
So re-energized.
Squirrel. But we better get back to work.
Yes. We'll
So
see you in
let's
Bustmob.
go. Bye.
Thanks so much for watching. To join Bustmob, shop for swag, or follow me and Greta on social, click the links below. See you next time.